So apparently that grassy, weedy thing that was growing in my pot is just so cool. Who knew? Hello, howdy, and welcome back to another Grow Update. I'm Catherine, the Aerogarden homesteader. The lettuce is starting to look a lot more sad, and I do feel like, I don't know if you can tell, it looks like it's getting a little taller. Same with this one. So I do think it might be starting the bolting process. This one over here, the Buttercrunch, it still looks pretty good. The kale beside it kind of blocks the airflow, but it actually looks pretty good inside still, so I'm kind of impressed with it. Although you can see some of the leaves on the side here. You do have the browning that happened earlier, so oh, it is what it is. The kale has been looking pretty good. I finally got all of the leaves off of this one, and as you can see, it just it's almost like it just generated more big leaves, and it's still just growing tall. So while it was kind of a successful experiment to see if it would get bushy, it didn't really get bushy. I mean, there's still all these little nodes down here that look like they're maybe starting to grow, but it hasn't really gotten bushier. This one is still a little smaller, so it's still a little behind. But you know, I'm trying to not put the light up because the Buttercrunch is still a pretty low-lying vegetable, so kind of needs the light lower. The cabbage, my favorite plant. I do wonder, so the leaves are getting a little crispy around the edges. Not all of them. This one's fine. This one's got a little bit of a crunch to it, but the inner ones seem fine. It's these outer ones. So I'm actually thinking of increasing the feeding on the cabbage as well, because maybe it just needs more. Let's go look at the heads. Oh my gosh, I love looking at the heads. This one still hasn't really sealed up around itself. So I don't know if it's not going to. It kind of looks funny in there, doesn't it? I don't know if you can see that. Okay, well, maybe this one isn't going to form a head, but we'll see. The bunching onions. This one back here does not look all that great. This one's looking pretty good still. Let's get the trellis out of the way. But I don't know how much longer it'll go for, and this one, even though it looks like it's still alive, it just doesn't seem like it's doing very well, but you can cut a leek off and it will grow back. So, just so you know. Now, since everything else in here is kind of doing poorly, I might actually just take this out and call it done. Then I can kind of shuffle things around and try to free up more space for seeds. Now, the peppers. Get some dry leaves in here. I went through, oh, this one didn't really make it. Oh well. I went through, well, first of all, I took out the cherry tomato. So I don't have to worry about that not getting enough light. These, I've been giving them more food. I do see some new growth in here, but this one, I don't know why, but it just looks so ratty. But I have a lot of the peppers are ripening up. I still have this big one over here. I think I turned it a little bit when I was futzing with it. I did prune out some of the leaves to open it up a little bit more. This one just looks amazing, and I still have no clue. I just don't remember what kind of pepper it was. The peppers have a little bit of the brown stuff on the skin here on the bottom. It's like the skin split a little, but I don't think it did. These ones look okay, but only got like, another pepper here. I've only got like 4 peppers, I think, on it. It's weird. My light just went out. Must be time. But the pepper plant looks nice. It's got a whole bunch of new flowers, so increasing the food has been really beneficial. Over here, the tomatoes. We got lots of ripe tomatoes. We got the one down here. We got a group of 3 over here. This one in the back is more ripe than these 2 in the front. And then there's 2, I don't know if you can see them, 2 back there that look really nice and ripe, so I should be able to harvest those real soon. Along with probably some peppers from the jalapeno. Oh, this wasn't the jalapeno, this was the mini jalapeno. So that is looking really good as well, although I don't know if you can see this. Let me see. The spider mites have made it this far. So, unfortunate. But I can see some little cobwebs. I don't know if you can see this on the camera. I can see little cobwebs forming in here. So, really, the best thing I can try to do is to just get this to limp along as much as I can so I can get some seeds from it, and then call it done. Then I can clean out the room. I really want to just clean out the room and then just start fresh again so I don't have to worry about any spider mites. The other tomato plant with the mystery globe tomatoes, it's looking pretty good. I got a whole bunch. Seems like they've been ripening up really fast. There's another one over here. I don't know if you can see it. But it has pushed out a whole bunch of new growth. I've got a new tomato there. I've got, I don't know if you can see it in the back. There's some flowers back there. This is all new growth. This with the flowers is all new growth. I mean, it is just going insane. So definitely it needed more food. This is the snacking pepper. So this one is the pretty and sweet. This one here is the snacking pepper. They are doing really, really well. They are benefiting really well from the extra food as well. All this is new growth back here. And there's new growth in here. There's more new growth here. All of this up here is new growth. I pruned out some of the older stuff that was kind of encroaching on the pretty and sweet pepper. But this is pretty and sweet pepper growing up into the snacking pepper. And as you can see, the mini bell has also disappeared. So I'll get to that in a moment. The broccoli is still going, but like I said, I will probably take the broccoli out when I take the lettuce out. So it's going to be pretty soon. But it's looking really good. It seems like it's pushing out a lot of new growth as well. I keep thinking, oh, it's done and I can take out some of these branches, and then all of a sudden it just pushes out a whole bunch of new growth. So the seeds are looking awesome, and I have some asparagus. So apparently that grassy, weedy thing that was growing in my pot, it was asparagus. Who knew? Okay, I should have known. But I might have to move my light a little bit because it is actually getting really close to the light. But they're doing really well, so I'm so impressed. I'm probably going to have to let them get a little stronger and then thin them out so that they don't start tangling up their roots. But I got lots of peppers that came in, lots of celery, lots of onions. This is all looking really good, except for I don't know why these Granex ones are looking poorly. I just don't know why. The rosemary's looking okay. Well, this just doesn't seem like it's doing anything, which is sad because I really wanted chives, and I've like struggled to grow chives for years, so don't know what's going on with that. The kale is, well, let's just say it's starting to take over the bounty or the harvest here. This one's got a slightly yellowish leaf on it. It's looking fine. I just haven't been harvesting from it. I've actually been feeding it a little bit more food, but I probably should just find someone who wants some kale and then just take this out. Then the Buttercrunch. This one's looking pretty good, but again, I don't think it's got too much longer. I have tried to take out some of the leaves in between, so the ones on the bottom have not been all that great, and I've tried to take out some of the ones in the middle, so just sort of skipping the bottom ones altogether. But I did take out the one with 2 heads. You can see, took it out a couple days ago, and it's already like pushing out a whole bunch of new growth. So, but I'll have to probably deal with that soon. And then, finally, I gave them their own space. So I pruned this one back just a little bit. I think I took out some of the nasty leaves, but for the most part I tried to leave some leaves. It just looks poorly. But it's got some new growth, and it is starting to put out flowers, so maybe it'll do okay. And then this one, I did a little pruning on it as well. I took out some of the, so you see how there's this branch where the tomatoes come out and grow on? I cut back the branches that were done, all the spent ones, and so it's pushing out new growth sort of at the nodes. So there was, I don't know if you can see the damage here, but there was a leaf here, and I broke it off and it peeled a little bit, but it healed. But it pushed out new growth. And then there's new growth at all these other node sites that had leaves on them. So it's doing really well. It's pushing out growth. I'm happy. It's got some up here, and I do still have a little bit of space. The harvest light can go up just a little bit higher, but we'll see. I'm not sure that these ones are going to amount to anything. These two might, because they're kind of bigger. These 2 little ones here, I don't know that they will produce successful fruit. So I might just have to sacrifice those ones. But I will probably give the bigger ones a chance. So that is what is going on in the plant room. I don't know if you really care about these strawberries. Let me see if I can zoom in on one of these. They do look like they're getting a little bit of green on them, but I don't know. It's hard to tell. Let me see. This one here got a bit of green. And the one over here beside it, it's got a little bit of green. So maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But this is how everything is doing. These are how my seeds are doing. I will be starting my tomatoes middle of February. And I think that what I'm going to be doing is, for the next few updates, it's definitely going to be everything in the AeroGardens and all the seeds that I've been doing. But as I fade out the AeroGardens, I'm going to phase in the seeds more. So basically the garden preps are going to take over the AeroGarden updates. So, but yeah, look at that. I mean, it's just so cool. Who knew? Anyways, I'm really pleased about how everything is doing, and I just can't wait to show you more updates on this. So make sure you subscribe so you can stay tuned for that. If you liked this video, it'd be really nice if you'd share it so other people can also find it. And hopefully I will see you next time on the AeroGarden Homestead.